With that said, let's get into today. This young man brought us backbone and what? Say the word posture. There you go. There you go, Rick Case. Rick Case. Backbone and posture. He brought us, hey, I'm going to sleep on the floor until I get to my RD position. He also brought us, hey, man, I went to leave my computer to run to the bathroom, and my boss called me and saw my computer keys were not going, wondered if I was okay. He goes, man, I'm a grown man. I just went to the bathroom in his own house. How many of that alone should wake some people up? Am I right? So that got me fired up. I mean, I'm still fired up about it. Without further ado, far away from the rodeo. He's going to all the events, from the rodeo to the car shows to redneck barbecues. I mean, he does it all. Nothing stopping this guy. He's at the, and he's at the mall going down. Yeah, that's right. The one and only. Let's bring on the great Sam Foster from Dallas, Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for all that you do, giving it back to you. Thank you for your platform as usual. Thank you, Mr. Jabri Clemens, for working behind the scenes as usual. Thank all the leaders that are on the call, especially those individuals that did the call this week, from Curtis Evans to Julian Lewis, Nicole Woods, and of course, Miss Heather Perry. You are coming out, young lady. You are coming out. Wonderful job, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. As always, today is Friday. Of course, I'm on the road again. I'm actually getting ready to go to Richardson, Texas, where there's going to be a festival today. So my face will be in the place. Last night, I was in Fort Worth, Texas, at the pro rodeo event. Last night, got two individuals from that rodeo event that are on the call, that should be on the call. Mr. Brian and Mr. Cruz is on the call. So I appreciate you guys, wonderful young men, the right old age of 19 years old. We're gonna be doing some wonderful things in Texas, y'all, wonderful things. All right, with that said, if you guys are taking notes and you're not driving, you're taking notes, I want you to put down, this is different. This is different. This is different. And the reason why I want you to put down this is different is because those of you who are on the call, the majority of you who are on the call, know that ACN is a different organization. It's a different company. It's just different. And when I finish putting this together, you guys are going to realize why I say this is different. Okay? This morning, just to get you guys in the car with me this morning, I went to get my car serviced this morning. This wasn't even going to be my message. That's how crazy this is. This wasn't going to be my message, but as always, God had another plan. Okay, I ended up going to get my car serviced this morning, and I thought I'd get there early. So I arrived, ladies and gentlemen, at around 7:45. They open up at 8. I'm in the car, I'm prepared. I don't want to get the heat on me. In Texas, it's very hot. So I didn't want to get the heat on me. Wanted to get there early, wanted to get there before time so I can get in and get out. Now I'm sitting in my car. I'm literally sitting in my car. And while I'm sitting in my car, I look at the time, now it's 8 o'clock. They have not opened up. The young man comes out of his car, he opens the door up. And when he opens the door up, he pulls up all the bays. Once he pulls up all the bays, he commenced to sitting back down. So I'm looking at him thinking, why is he not waving me in to come in and get my car serviced? So I go to him. Come to find out, he tells me that the manager hadn't got there. So even though he has the keys to open up the door, he can't do anything. Why? He don't know the code to the system to get in the computers to do anything. Now, I know the owner of the business. It's right around the corner from my home. So I'm thinking, this doesn't seem right because the owner's always there. I mean, he's one of those types of owners, he hovers over his business. So I'm thinking, well, what's going on? So I'm thinking, well, maybe He's not the owner anymore. Maybe it's a new owner, some of the same people, maybe new ownership. So I sit around and say, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit. I look at my watch again, and by that time it's 20 minutes later. Manager hadn't been there, owner's not there. So right about now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna use my Alabama vernacular for a change. I'm hot as fish grease. I mean, I am burning mad. I'm hotter than a Texas heat in the summertime. Now you know that has to be pretty hot. So I'm confused, I'm frustrated. 45 minutes later, and I stayed. I wanted to leave. And I thought to myself, I said, I ought to leave. I'm frustrated. And I heard God tell me, ladies and gentlemen, don't go. Don't go. I'm on this roller coaster emotionally. Everybody bear with me. Just do this for a second. That roller coaster, that emotional roller coaster, I'm going somewhere. I didn't move. I'm frustrated, but I didn't move. It's something to the fact that when all chaos may be in your head, the word says, be still and know. Be still. Just be still. Pay attention to your surroundings. I finally see the manager come, not the owner, but the manager came. And as the manager came, it hit me. I asked him, I said, are they still under the same ownership? He says, yes. That's why I'm confused. So I've been here 45 minutes. I said, you finally come up. I said, the guy that opened the place is new. I said, and he can't get in the computer. Then it finally hit me, everyone. I heard that still voice say, look at your business. That's why I say ACN is different. Why is that, Sam? We don't run a traditional business. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't run a traditional business. That's why we're different. And I know I got a few people on the call, and throughout the week, I got several people that not even in ACN that see these videos, things of that nature. Thank you, Mr. Jabri. But they see these videos and they pass it to other people. So it brings a well-rounded atmosphere to what we do, and not just ACN, but collaborative with ACN as well. This is all about life, but this is going to tie into your business. We're different because we don't run a traditional business. We don't have a brick and mortar. That's a key for somebody that's new, somebody that just got in, somebody that want to rejuvenate their business. Pay attention. We're different. We don't run a traditional brick and mortar. I never had to worry about when my business was going to open up. That's why I had to sit in the midst for a while and gather what I was thinking about and calm myself down enough to see what I needed to see. Don't run a traditional brick and mortar. Don't have to worry about a whole lot of overhead going on in your business. Come on now, somebody. Don't have to worry about it at all. And have the luxury of people going to your business 24/7. As long as they have an internet connection 24/7. Don't have to worry about paying anybody. Don't have to worry about payroll, anything of that nature. Then I thought about it. Thank God for ACN. Thank God for ACN that we don't have to go. For those of you who are on this call who are in ACN, we don't have to fool with that junk. We don't have to fool with that mess. We don't have to fool with the fact that, then I thought about it, ladies and gentlemen. I said, the guy that opened the building, he was new. He couldn't afford to call the manager who actually had the code to the computer, because he didn't want to make it look like he didn't know what he was doing. What do you mean, Sam? The guy told me to pull up into the bay. I said, well, why am I pulling up into the bay? He said, well, he'll be here in 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not pulling my car up to the bay. I said, because if I thought in my mind, if I pull my car up to the bay, it makes it look like they're running business. They're not. So I'm not going to inconvenience myself, and nobody's here to service me. Now, the manager knew what he was doing, because if he didn't feel like it was going to be crabs in the barrel and didn't feel like this new guy was going to have the leg up on him, why didn't he give him the code? You got to remember, the manager doesn't own the place, he just manages the place. So now it's that crab in the barrel mentality. So now it's coming clear to me, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming real clear to me, like, whoa, I thank God for ACN, because we don't have to go through that madness. It's madness. The guy finally gets there. I'm telling the guy, I'm like, well, it's poor customer service. Before he got there, 2 people had came and left and said the same thing I said. The only difference was I knew the owner, and I thought the owner was coming. The crazy part about the ownership is that, can you imagine being the owner? And the owner thought he could trust the people that he had in place. But you got to think about it for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. No, he couldn't trust the people that he had in place, because the manager had been hovered over so long. He felt like, well, I'm going to take it upon myself, since I know the boss is not here today. I'm going to put somebody else under me to make myself feel good. Crabs in the barrel mentality. That's what goes on in a traditional job / business that we don't have to concern ourselves with at all. Why? Little to no overhead. We're in a position where we can do business all across the globe. As long as you got an internet connection, we're good. A traditional business can't do that. That's not how the traditional business runs. And we don't have to worry about a lot of customer service issues or things of that nature, because that's already set in place for us. Now, I'm saying this to not only people that are in ACN, but people that are going to think about coming to ACN. Now, we're the world's largest at what we do, hands down. I want people on this call to start realizing that they have power in ACN. We have to continue to exercise that power. Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, the way that this guy runs his business already speaks of he not trusting anybody. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, when he first took over the business, he has the type of business where they do business at the bottom, and at the top he has like a little loft area in his business where he can go up and has like his own little area, things of that nature. But his workers can't go upstairs. They have to tap on the wall, and he hear him. Then he come downstairs, exchange the money and things of that nature. So he doesn't trust anybody. Well, in ACN, unless I'm confused, we don't have to worry about that either. I'm speaking to somebody that has to understand that ACN is different in a good way. Take that back, in a great way. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Any of that stuff that traditional business has to worry about. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but we don't have to worry about a payroll system. We get direct deposit right into your bank account. And we make residual income, which is percentage based. And when people come into our business, they do their jobs, we get paid as a whole. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty great. Let's move on, because I got a long way to go, short time to get there. Okay? It struck me that these individual people couldn't trust each other. Number one, they didn't own the business. Number two, even the owner, and I will be going back to see him, but can you imagine, for the first time, he finally trusts these workers? And these workers are acting juvenile. They don't want to trust each other. They want to get all the credit. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay? So everybody wants to look the part, but not do the part. In ACN, we under promise and we over deliver. Let me repeat that. Over here at ACN, we under promise, right? And we over deliver. 29 years. That says something for credibility. 29, not 2, not 9, 29 at what we do. A+ rating, Better Business Bureau. These are facts. So if anybody out there that just started thinking about getting in, don't get anxiety written about this. Make it simple, keep it simple. Give the facts. Find out what the facts are and give it to them. Why do you say that, Sam? Had a few people this week, because I do a whole lot of talking to people. I had a few people call me, text me back. I don't know if this works. I just give them the facts. I send them the video. I send them all the relevant information. Then I allow them to make their own decision. Because the facts are the facts. We don't have to beef it up. We don't have to continue to try to make something out of something. We don't have to do any of that. As long as you're giving them the facts, you create your own culture of success, strictly with the facts. Going somewhere with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going somewhere, bear with me, right? At the end of the day, we don't have to worry about workers, payroll system, just making residuals after building relationships through IBOs and customers. The only thing we worry about, is making residuals after building relationships through IBOs and customers. Mind you, out of something that they're already doing. So if anybody's out there anxiety ridden saying, I don't know, they're already doing it. Now your hands free. You give them the information, they make their own decision about it. At the end of the day, who do they know we need to know? Because it's already there. There's no frustration. Had a guy a couple of days ago tell me, I don't think this works. I'm gonna turn you into Venmo. Don't turn me into Venmo. I text back and said, go ahead, be my guest. Why? My facts are in place. Whenever your facts are in place, it does not matter. The facts are the facts. Keep it factual. All the information, all the paperwork is already there for you. The videos are there. They already set. That's all we have to do is keep it factual. All right, going somewhere. I thought about this, ladies and gentlemen. And this week has been like a roller coaster, up and down. Then I was praying and I said, and this is going to be for somebody, not maybe for everybody, but for somebody. I was praying, I said, God, I said, why does it look like from time to time I get frustrated? Yeah, I get frustrated. I meet a lot of people, so I get frustrated sometimes. And I heard God tell me something. I heard God tell me, I had to frustrate you in this vision to see how bad you want it. Right there, as the young people say, that way. I had to frustrate you. Somebody's listening that needs to hear that. Come on, entrepreneur. I had to frustrate you just to see how bad do you want it. So frustration doesn't have to be a negative. Sometimes frustration comes to build you and not tear you down. Well, why you say that, Sam? Well, you want to be an SVP someday. Ask Mr. Thomas what he goes through on a day-to-day basis. But he always has to be solid, unmovable, always abound. Why? Because you're going to have your ups and downs. But you got to remember something. You have to stay balanced. You have to stay balanced. Everybody, I'm going to Gallup. I need to see the hands wave. I'm going to Gallup. There you go. I see you, Rick. Yeah, I see you, Kiko. I see you all the way in Japan. That's what I'm talking about. You got to stay balanced through all this stuff that we go through. You say you're an entrepreneur, but if you want to get to the SVP level, Mr. Thomas is on the call. Even though you're doing this, ladies and gentlemen, you have to stay balanced. You have to stay balanced. Why is that? Because with what we have in ACN, nobody has it. Hands down, nobody has the infrastructure, nobody has the credibility, nobody has the documentation that totally beats conversation. Let me give you guys an example. I was at Walmart yesterday, just to show you guys what I go through. But let me show you how being stable conditions everything in a positive way. Watch this. I'm in Walmart. I bump into a young man in the restroom. Come out the restroom, young man named is Shane. Big buff guy. He took his jug of water in the restroom. So as we coming out, I said, hey man, I said, this is how I peak sometimes. I noticed the atmosphere. So I tell him, I said, what's your name? He said, oh, Shane. I said, oh man, I noticed you got your gallon of water with you. I said, man, you look like you work out. You look like you stay in shape. He said, well, yeah, I do. So get to talking to him. I said, man, what do you do? He said, I work for Amazon. I said, yeah, how long you been there? He said, a couple of years. I said, really? I said, yeah. I said, you keep your options open? He said, I don't know. So when he said, I don't know, how many people would have faded out at that point? Because a lot of people fade out at that point, because that's the challenge. Come on, backbone imposter, come on, put some weight on it. Come on now. Most people would have faded out at that time. Let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting ready to help somebody. Watch this. I sit there, right? Soon as he said it, it hit me. I said, well, I do a little something. I said, let me get your name and number. I said, I'll send you my information. He said, I don't know. He said, what's it for? I said, well, you say you keep the options open. I said, I do a little something. I said, I tell you what. I said, you do realize that if you give me your number, you don't want me and you to talk. I said, you can block me. It shocked him, ladies and gentlemen. It shocked him. I mean, I saw it all in his facial expression. It looked like he had a deer in the head, like, boop. It stuck him right then and there. He didn't know what to do. I said, yeah. I looked right at it. Backbone imposter part 2. I looked right at it. I squared him up. I said, yeah, you can always block me. I said, technology is something, isn't it? So he's stuck at that point. He's still stuck. I'm like, yeah. I look right at him. I'm like, I'm coming right at you. Eye to eye, mano y mano. I'm coming right at you. Watch this. He said, I said, yeah. I said, and by the way, what I'm getting ready to send you, I said, it's going to be nothing but documentation. And I said, by the way, you know, documentation will always beat this conversation. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I said it and I meant it every step of the way. I said, do you realize documentation will beat this conversation all day long? And I looked right at it. I wanted to see his reaction and what was going to come out of his mouth. Guess what came out of his mouth, Rick Kubiak? Guess what came out of his mouth? My phone number is so and so and so and so and so and so. My name is Shane Douglas. Come on now. I'm not playing with nobody. We have too much documentation to be playing with anybody. Anybody. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. I'm giving it to anybody. Going to Richardson today, going out again tomorrow, anybody. Listen, when this summer is over with, when it goes into the winter, this is my goal. This is not bragging. This is not trying to be all uppity. My goal is by the winter, I would have made Texas so hot, it's going to feel like springtime in the winter. That's my goal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to set Texas on fire because there's too many people around here that needs ACN. And I know it's the same for you guys in your area. The problem is we have to stand firm on what we built in ACN. And the problem is a lot of us don't want to stand firm because sometimes we get to the point to where we forget consistency builds this business. Consistency builds this business. So when you're consistent in what you do, you never have to backtrack. Now, what made a total stranger give me his name and his number? And by the way, some of you guys know how I do it. I called him right in front of him. Made sure the phone rung right in front of him. I said, yeah, my name is Sam Foster. Lock me in. I'm locking you in now. Right in front of him. I didn't even let him walk away. Why? Because I wanted him to know how firm I stood on my business. Now, with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize no matter what you do, the facts stay consistent. So if you only just lean on the facts of ACN, your business will blow out the water. If you just only lean on the facts, if you don't know how to do nothing at all, just quote the facts, because the facts will never lie. Now, Mr. Jabri, I haven't forgot about you, sir. Can you pull that beautiful beam footage up for me? Okay, Mr. Jabri, you are a scholar and a gentleman. For the newer people on the call, for people that have never seen this before, I wanted to make sure you guys saw what this compensation plan looks like in simplicity. This is documentation beating a conversation, right? This says new IBOs, brand new people just getting into the business, earn $75 if they earn CQ in 30 days. That's customer qualified. A few services get you $75. Acquire customers totaling 5 services your first 30 days. That's $200. But watch this part. It's $200 for every 3 additional services that you get your first 30 days. You're new coming in. No. I know somebody, a couple of my guys on the call counter. No. Don't be confused. I know you saw the video. I wanted you to see it in mass form. 5 services gets you $200. And $200 every additional 3 services. And you can do this as many times as you want. 8 services, 400, 11 services, 600, so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Now, my question I want to ask anybody, whether you're seeing it live now or whether you're seeing it later on, next week, doesn't matter. Where can you go to get something like this that's documented as a fact, and you go back and you say, this look funny? Call me personally when they stop paying this out. What do you mean by that, Sam? I had a downline that hit their bonus and didn't even understand the structured plan. Call me complaining. Let me show you how this works, and then it works as default. Call me complaining. I looked at the back office. I said, you know you hit your bonus. I said, you hit your bonus. Oh, I said, do you not remember? 5 services get you $200. I said, how much did you pay to come in the business? They said $199. I said, you know you just got your money back. You just got your money back. I said, all you have to do is repeat the process and allow yourself to breathe after your own kind, and your people do the same thing. And I say, everybody gets paid. And this is upfront money. This is not talking about back money. This is not talking about the bonus plans of the month. This is just the structured plan, bare bones. Now, I don't know about you, but where can you go to get all those zeros and you only paid $199? I don't know now. And we've been doing this consistently. Well, I'm gonna call. I don't know if it works. It's working. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters? Because that works. And when it stops working, pick my phone up, give me a call. In the last 3 years, nobody's called me yet. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, when your downline starts making the money, you won't get that call. That's how potent ACN is. Why do you say that, Sam? Because we different. So where you going this weekend, how you going, how you get there, don't matter about your upline, don't matter about your downline. Just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Why? Because we different. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been my time. Determination to elevation. Part 3. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for your platform. Thank you guys for listening to me. And let's go out and charge the hill. Thank you.